Welcome back to the channel. I'm Dario from WeGamersXP, and today we're going to be talking about the Battlefield 6 open beta. Originally, I was going to make a video on Battlefield 6 about whether you should pre-order or not. That video was going to run through all the Battlefields from Battlefield Bad Company 2 up until Battlefield 2042, and the video was going to be detailed about how they launched versus how they ended up. Hint, hint, they all launched pretty shit. Just letting you know that. If that's any indication to go off, then guess what? Battlefield 6 may launch, hint hint, pretty shit. But I could be wrong, because this multiplayer beta is really good. Even though I thoroughly enjoyed Battlefield 2042's open beta, even with all the bugs, I just enjoyed playing Orbital. And I enjoyed being returned to a modern day Battlefield. Now, with that being said, let's get on to my direct thoughts. I'm going to start with the overall fun that I had playing this game, and I've thoroughly enjoyed playing the first open beta. It started from the 9th, it's come to the 10th. I've been working all week, so I haven't really been able to play too much. I got a chance to play most of today and a little bit of last night, even though I was absolutely dead tired last night because I've been working like a horse. But goddamn, I played enough of it. I played at least 20 to 30 matches, and there is a second open beta coming on the 14th to the 17th, I believe. And I am very excited for that. Let's move on to the gunplay. The gunplay has been very solid. I can't complain with the gunplay. This feels like Battlefield 3. This feels like Battlefield 4 style gunplay. There's none of this weird weapon sway or bullet spray where it's all over the place and you can't hit a fucking enemy that's standing right in front of you. It feels so much better than 2042. It just feels great. It feels right. The hip fire feels great. I really can't complain with the gunplay. It's solid. It's exactly what you expect when you play a Battlefield game. And I'm so glad that they've reworked it to be exactly the way people like it. So this next one might be a bit of a hot take. I think I prefer Battlefield with a lower player count. I know they tried 124 players in 2042, but I think I prefer even lower than 64 players, which they've reverted back to in Battlefield 6. I think I prefer 32 players. It might sound crazy, but I feel like it is the sweet spot because I feel like you don't have players every fucking direction when you play on 32 player maps. I feel like you're able to create battle lines where you've got your back against the wall and you have one or two directions where you know players are going to come from. In Battlefield 6, it feels like there's fucking players everywhere in this goddamn game. It's crazy. Like, if you're not watching, like, the streets that connect to one checkpoint to another, then you're looking at windows in every single fucking building. If you're not looking at that, you're looking at little tunnels around. It's crazy. It's honestly, it's genuinely crazy how many fucking angles are in Battlefield. Now, I guess some people might think that that's what Battlefield is, but it isn't. Because if you go back and you play a Battlefield 3, you play Siege Crossing, you play Operation Firestorm, or even Caspian Border, there's always certain angles. Fuck it, Operation Metro, for God's sakes. The only angle is right in front of you. Yeah, I don't know. It feels closed, but open at the same time. It feels like there's so much clutter, which is great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. It adds more cover to the game. But it just feels like there's so many angles you have to worry about that it becomes more of a Twitch shooter than it does kind of a more military sim, if you know what I'm saying. I don't want it to be too realistic, but you know, I miss Grand Bazaar. Grand Bazaar was a fantastic map because you really didn't have to worry about too many angles. There was really 3 lanes to go to the next checkpoint. And then on top of that, there was maybe 2 or 3 angles max you had to worry about. It was perfect. But I loved it most on console. On PC, I couldn't imagine playing 64 players on Grand Bazaar. That just sounds fucking insane. But that's my little bit of a hot take. I prefer 32 players over 64. The graphics are very good. It's a bit weird because whilst they are pretty incredible, they're not that much better than Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4. Don't get me wrong, they're definitely an upgrade, but they're not that much better. Which you would expect something over the last, 14 years since Battlefield 3 and I think 13 years since Battlefield 4? Oh, sorry, 12 years between Battlefield 4. You would expect the graphics to be a whole lot better, but they're pretty good, but they're not mind-blowing. A bit strange. But again, you are getting good graphics when you play Battlefield 6. Now, on top of the graphics, when it comes to DICE, you're getting the best sound quality that you really get in video games. The sound design in this game, whether it's the gunshots whizzing past your head, whether it's the sniper shots, the little whizzing past your head, whether it is the tanks, whether it's the helicopters and jets. It just sounds incredible. This whole game sound design is just... It's probably what DICE are best at when it comes to Battlefield games, is their sound design, because their sound design is stunning. It is absolutely beautiful. So we'll move on to the maps now, and I've got to say, they're not the best maps, they're not the worst maps. They are definitely probably a step above 2042 maps, but I would say they're below your average Battlefield 3 and 4 map, if that makes any sense. I wouldn't say they're super memorable. There's an issue that I have with these maps is that inside of each one, there's no real variety. Like, I don't feel like I'm playing a map like Flood Zones in Battlefield 4. The A checkpoint was a car park, right? It was a 2-story car park, I believe. And then you had all the rooftops. The rooftops were all checkpoints. And then you had a highway section, which had a checkpoint on the highway. It may have even been a gas station. I can't remember. It's been so long. But that all just felt different. Whereas if I play a map like Siege of Cairo, or if I play Iberian Offensive, it feels like point A is the exact same as point B. You can differentiate them just by looking around, sure, but they all feel very similar points. And I get it, you're in like an urban environment, so each street is pretty much going to be very similar to the next. It's all the same. It's super weird. It all just blends in as one, which I'm not a huge fan of. Like, if you're going to do this type of thing, add variety. I feel like they've lost a little bit of the creativity. I think Liberation Peak, which is the kind of open map, I think that might be a little bit better because some of the points are different than others. So I will give that one a little bit more variety. And I got to say, they do flow quite well. You don't feel like you're running too long without seeing any action. The only thing I could suggest is maybe hopefully getting some slightly bigger maps when the game officially releases. Hopefully that'll be the case, but you never quite know. I know with the Weekend 2 open beta, they're going to be adding Empire State, which is going to be the map set in Brooklyn. Hopefully that's going to be an insane map, because when I saw that in the trailer, I thought to myself, that is a must-play map. That just looks insane. It almost looks like a first-person Division that I kind of always wanted. I just hope that when we do officially get Battlefield 6, that we're going to have some truly memorable maps, and we won't just be relying on Battlefield 3 or 4 maps like Operation Firestorm. I hope we get some genuinely good new maps that we'll be playing for years to come and thoroughly enjoy. Let's talk about bugs and performance. I haven't really had too many bugs playing this game. I have had a couple issues where either when I'm jumping or when I'm dying, my player kind of jumps a little bit into the air. Whether it's like 5 to 10 meters or something into the air. I don't know if you guys experienced that, but it's a little bit strange. It's only happened a few times, so it's not really like I give a shit about it, but it's happened enough for me to notice. Another bug that I have noticed quite often is the audio design. As fantastic as it is, but it's audio ducked a few times in this game. So to explain what I mean is, when you're getting suppressed in this game and all the sounds in your headphones just kind of get that little bit muffled and suppressed, and you can't really hear too much. You might hear a little bit of ringing or something like that. I would say minus the ringing, I get this in the headset just randomly playing. While it's not being shot at or anything, it's just randomly happening, which again is it's a little bit strange. It makes no sense to me why that happens, but it's like it loses quality as well. It goes lower quality, it gets much quieter, and whilst nothing is happening on screen, mind you, and then randomly it'll just switch back to high quality and super loud in the headset. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. Hopefully that can be ironed out, or maybe it is something just naturally happening in the game that I just have no idea about. So hopefully that can be ironed out or fixed by the time the game launches. That'd be cool. Performance-wise, I'm playing this on a 4060 laptop, and it runs pretty well. It's hard to complain about a game that runs... Right now, I'm getting about 120 frames per second on every map. I'm playing it at about high to ultra settings. I am using FrameGen, though. That's the only gripe that I have. I wish I didn't have to use it, but in order to get over 120 frames per second, I have to use FrameGen. And you know what? With Reflex on and Boost, it is possibly the smoothest I've played with FrameGen. It works like incredibly well in this game. If you have a powerful enough PC, I don't think you would need frame gen because base FPS I'm getting about 60. You know, you could play on low settings as well if you want, but I like graphical fidelity, so I'm going to have that on. Also, pro tip, turn down your sharpness, turn off film grain, turn off chromatic aberration, turn off all that stuff, and you make the game look a little bit better. For some reason, the default sharpness is on at 50, and it's like incredibly sharp, and it looks horrible. So if you turn that off, you actually get a much better looking game. Now on to the big question, the original idea for this video, and that is to pre-order or to not pre-order. I'm kind of against pre-ordering, but man, this game just feels like it's a return to form for Battlefield. Now, I'm not telling you to pre-order. You don't have to pre-order at all. But for me, it just feels like exactly, almost exactly the type of game I've been wanting. So I can't wait. I'm definitely going to play this game day one. Now, I can't tell you whether to pre-order it or not. If history is to anything to go by, Battlefield's always had a pretty disastrous launch. So you might want to like hold off just a little bit. Maybe wait for your favorite YouTubers, wait for your favorite content creators, see what they say, and then possibly hop in. But they have a chance here to fucking really bring it. They've had hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people across all platforms playing fucking Battlefield 6. Goddamn, still on 2042. They have a very unique opportunity here to capture the Call of Duty market that are a bit tired of the Call of Duty market and to gain that FPS market that really want a good FPS game. So they have a chance here to do so. Well, that's pretty much everything I can think of. I did have one more point that I wanted to make, but I freaking forgot what I was going to say, which sucks so much. Because there was one really good point. I didn't write it down, man. I don't know why. Because I was thinking about it this whole time, but now I can't think about it at all. Well, that's pretty much all my thoughts and opinions on the Battlefield 6 open beta. Again, if you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to subscribe, by all means, I couldn't care less. But I'll see you guys in the next video.